Brothers and sisters, generals, welcome to another edition of EBX discussion / hip hop heavy hitters. And this is part 14. And I know the last one was Remy Ma. I gave a salute to Remy Ma, and it was Big Pun. I gave an honor to Big Pun. Rest in peace and in power. And I spoke about Fat Joe in that too, because they knew each other. That was his guy. And of course, brother Jadakiss, salute to Joe and Jada platform. I don't know much about their personal lives, but just saluting their platform. It's fun to watch. They always talk about hip hop and they be talking crazy to each other. So salute to Joe and Jada. Again, I don't know people's personal lives. I just know them as artists and what I have seen throughout the years, But again, welcome to another heavy hitters, hip hop heavy hitters, part 14. And as you can see on the banner and or thumbnail, salute to Field Mob, which is a very unique group. I love their music, and I was just listening to their songs a couple days ago, and they're in my playlist. And Sierra Rides Again, I swear. And Sierra is one of my favorite female artists, one of my favorite sisters. And I've seen the little clips with just a little side note. I'll get back to Field Mob. Salute to Field Mob. I got a lot to talk about with Field Mob. And anyone that listens to this channel know that I love hip hop, as well as my son Lord Lamont. Salute, which is doing well, and who is a great artist, and my cuz L'Oreal Lyrical. May she rest in peace and in power. And I got a song that I'm gonna play on the hip hop break. Y'all know I'm gonna do a hip hop break. And a song I made called Be Dynamic. And a song she made called It's Either Be a Lady or I'm a Lady that I'm gonna play. I played it before, but keep her music afloat. And look for new music by my cuz L'Oreal Lyrical. Again, may she rest in peace and in power. And I got it's a little reel I seen with Sierra. It was Sierra, Gilla, and Wallow, and it was funny. And they were talking about, I guess, Gilly. Forgive me if I'm not saying his name right, but he's kind of a funny brother. And I guess he was, what we call it, like joning on people. It's different parts of the areas. You say joning on people or snaps, whatever you want to call it. He was saying something about Wallow, how he was dancing, and they was talking about that video Gilla did, a Ludacris video, and he was unfortunately it looked like he was, I'm sure he didn't mean to, he just was caught in the moment, but they was making fun of him because it looked like he was popping and twerking. But I don't think he really meant it that way, but it was just all in fun. It was funny how he was dancing that Ludacris video, and I just brought that up because Sierra, they were laughing, and it was nice to see them laughing and having fun, And but Gilla cool. I like Gilly, if I'm saying his name right, and Wallow. I like their brotherhood together, and many brothers that have great brotherhood, as the brothers on my banner here, and I'm gonna get into it. I always like to connect with the artists. Of course, I'm gonna read some background. Salute to Sierra, because she collabed with them on a song called So What, and I love that song. I love the video. Both of the brothers threw down, and if I'm not mistaken, Smoke is the darker complected brother, and Shine J is the other one, and both of them are smooth in their own ways. And be extraordinary, brothers and sisters, and we're gonna get into that and tap into our higher selves and manifest whatever gift or ability we have, but we're talking about hip hop right now. But always connect to all gifts. Hip hop is a great expression, and it can be a great tool when used right, and sometimes aggressive, sometimes happy, maybe sometimes sad. But when it's coming from an authentic place, man, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. It's beautiful. And these brothers were extraordinary. And of course, I'm going to have some other artists that I'll speak, because I always have a list, and I probably got 9 artists and some bonus sisters. I got some sisters and some brothers I'm going to speak on that I thought, in my opinion, were extraordinary. Now, a couple of artists I'll name, maybe 2 or 3 are no longer with us, but they were extraordinary. And when I get to them, I think those who are listening will agree. Be extraordinary, brothers and sisters, because it will lead to tapping in to our higher selves. And I say extraordinary, to my righteously. Nothing evil, nothing toxic, because that's all poison. That's like oil and water. So we have to be righteous within, best way we can. So I don't care how corny people think that is, because a righteous brother or sister, a human being, man, live a most righteous life with the challenges. But the more right we are in our heart, and the more we're disciplined and have integrity, things will come. It's automatic. What we put out is ultimately what we get back. I say that a lot. We hear that a lot, but a lot of us are living that. It's beautiful. And I love hip hop, like my son, Lord Lamont. Salute. And my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical. She did also. I got a lot of musical, I would say musically talented people in my family, whether they got musical ear, whether they can rap, sing, play instruments, runs in my family, and it's beautiful. And a lot of us know who Field Mob is. And I did want to get into, because I didn't know, and now, I don't like doing negativity, but I do like to get to the meat of the matter. And again, we're going to connect with Field Mob, with Brother Smoke and Brother Sean J. And of course, we're going to read some songs they did, and salute to them and Sierra. And the other brother on my thumbnail, I didn't look him up, but he was also in that song with Nappy Roots. All My Life Been, no, not that one. All My Life Been Poe. He wasn't in that one, if I'm not mistaken. He was in the other video Nappy Roots made. What was it? Oh no, hell no, man. Y'all done up and done it. The brother that's on the thumbnail, he was in that song, and a lot of swag. I gotta look him up, see what his name is. And I love those glasses, his style. He always wear that cool hat and those cool shades, and always smiling. So that was a good, him being with Field Mob. I think he does hooks sometimes, so that's kind of, I would say that's a collaboration, because they look dope on the thumbnail. So salute to that brother. I gotta look his name up. And salute to Brother Smoke and Sean J, of course. And like I said, I have other artists I speak on that kind of relate to those brothers extraordinarily. Be extraordinary, brother, sister, righteously, and tap into our higher self and manifest any gift we want. Remember, there's a trillion billion gifts out there beyond music that Great Divine has for us. It's just a matter of going within, then we'll manifest it on the outside. Righteous ripple effect. But it's wonderful when that ripple effect comes through hip hop. And we know Field Mob, they made good music. I love their videos. The videos were colorful and fun. That's another thing I look for in artists and music, whether brother or sister, when they have fun with their craft. Like I said, music is like emotion. Sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's sad, can be a little dramatic, maybe even aggressive. But when it's coming from an authentic heart, and you're not just doing it for the beat or a sound, or just to listen to our voice sound good over a beat. No, a meaning, telling a story, life experiences, maybe teaching, sometimes make us laugh, And I'm talking about all genres of music, as my son and I, Lord Lamont, salute. As we speak on, we like all kinds of music. I'll reiterate them: African, Jamaican, reggae, Rastafarian. I like classical music, some soft rock. I don't do heavy metal. I don't do country, but I do understand it. And I find myself listening to the lyrics of music now. R&B, I love R&B. Let me see. I like a lot of genres, neo soul, I like all kinds. Jazz. Oh, I love jazz. I listen to jazz just about every day. And, it's just wonderful. It's good to know different kinds of music, because this way we get a better understanding, overstanding, and understanding about music, and especially when it's passion and it comes from the soul. It's beautiful when we can rap or sing from our toes through our soul, because that's when it's meaningful. But let's get back to Brother Smoke and Sean J. And they had, now again, like I was getting ready to say a little while ago, I don't really like to do the negative, because I know artists, they have disagreements, and it seems to happen in a lot of groups, but not with Smoke or Sean J. They were always cool. I don't think they never had any beef against each other. But Unfortunately, one of my other favorite artists that I do think is extraordinary, it did come up, brother Ludacris. Now I like Luda. Again, I don't get into people's personal lives, and I try to stay away from the negative. But I'm coming from brother Smoke and Sean J's point of view. We don't know as listeners what goes on behind the scenes. So that's another reason why I like to do these tributes and get to know artists, and it kind of helps me to learn a little more insight into hip hop, and to those who are artists. Now I guess they had some kind of discrepancy with Ludacris, and I'm not trying to expose nothing, and I don't do that. I try to analyze things, discuss things. This was my son, Lord Lamont. This is what we do. We don't get into the negative part. We try to get to the much of the truth as we possibly can, because none of us know these artists personally. So I guess they had some kind of discrepancy with Luda over that song Georgia, and I'm just going off what I guess brother Sean J said, and Smoke. I don't know if that song was stolen, and I don't know. And they said Luda made it look like it was his song, and they were like pushed out the picture, so to speak, or something like that. So I don't know. That's just something I heard them say. I'm not into I try to stay away from the negative. It's just unfortunate because they all are great artists. I think Luda's a great artist. Sean J, Smoke, if you watch their videos, and great songs. I love their lyrics, how they flow, their swag, and they definitely are extraordinary. So that's why I put that on the banner, as you can see, because these two brothers, they are extraordinary and much swag, and they have fun with their music. I noticed that, and I like artists like that just have fun with their music and let their craft just flow. And they got so much swag in this video on my banner. And I don't remember which song this was on my banner. I was just listening to it. Forgive me for not remembering, but I was just listening to it recently. But I do remember this video here on my banner. This might be So What, if I'm not mistaken. So, but don't quote me. I might be wrong. But I think this on my banner is from the song So What, with the collab they did with Sierra, which was a beautiful video. It was colorful. It wasn't raunchy. That's what I look for too. And it was about telling a story. And if you listen to the song, it was about not listening to people. He say, she say type shit. So, and how people talk about or have an assumption about people sometimes and don't know them. So that's what I got from that song, So What. And it was beautiful. And I like Sierra's part. So what? It's just dope. I love Sierra. Sierra's one of my favorite artists. And I think she's extraordinary, real talks. And in my opinion, as I said in the past, she's the only artist that captured the essence of Aaliyah. Rest in peace and in power. And I always said there will never be another Aaliyah, which it won't. But Sierra came close, and without even trying to mimic her, because Sierra has her own style, which is very unique and extraordinary. But I love how she captured. Again, I spoke on this before, but I wanted to reiterate it. I love how she captured the essence of Aaliyah, but not copying her. And that's not hard to do, especially with the fans and the public. Oh, she just copying. I don't think she did. She just happened to catch the essence. And I think sometimes, in my opinion, as our ancestry go, I don't want to sound too cosmic, but maybe Aaliyah's spirit came through Sierra. That's possible too, because we're melanated. We're gifted like that, So salute to Sierra. Her name always come up. She's collabed with a lot of people. And again, I think she's very extraordinary. She's never too raunchy. Kind of remind me of Eve. Salute Eve. Anybody listen to this channel know Eve is another one of my favorite artists. She's another one that's extraordinary. Always held herself together. Never too raunchy. Always kept it classy. Same way with Sierra. Now she might get a little sensual, a little sexual, but in my opinion, I don't ever think she goes too far. She always kept herself classy, and that's extraordinary. Real talk. Just like these brothers on the banner, they're extraordinary. Swag and Brother Smoke. And again, I think Brother Smoke is a dark complected brother, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember in the song in that part when he went, "You say to them this and you say to them that." I love his style. And Sean P, just smooth, laid back, just letting their craft flow. So salute to Field Mob, real talk. And if they did have any discrepancy or disagreement with Luda, it's unfortunate. Again, I think they're all three of them are great artists. It's just unfortunate, if that happened, that's too bad, because groups bring such great music, but again, we never know what's going on behind the scenes. But as I always like to say, just may those brothers find peace in that, and just know that sometimes when we're young, we do things, but later on in life, we don't like the things we did when we're young. So maybe Luda, I don't know, but I ain't gonna get too far into that. But I wanted to do a tribute to Field Mob because I think they're awesome duo. And as I always do, again, salute to Field Mob, Brother Smoke, and Sean J, because this is a tribute to them. And of course, we're gonna move over to some other artists that I thought were extraordinary. Some I may have mentioned before, some not. All right, the next group on the list is X-Clan, and which is a dope group, and that's some that the new generation really ain't up on. And I'm gonna go do some deeper research on X-Clan, and I'm gonna bring them up in my playlist. I got them. I played them before, but I haven't played it in a while. I want them up at the top of the playlist. So for those who don't know, X-Clan, which is a dope group, and they was about black empowerment and lifting up, and they didn't hold back either in those songs. But see, songs like that X-Clan made, and they were very extraordinary, and they definitely were tapped in to their higher selves. You go listen to X-Clan, and X-Clan is one of those groups you have to understand them, where they're coming from, and their lyrics and their lyricism. This generation wouldn't understand this group. Most people from the 70s, around my age, because I'm 56, they would understand. But it's brothers like me and sisters. We can show them. We can show this generation the true origins and the real meaning behind the expression of hip hop. Like Bob Marley, I bring it up. Like Bob Marley said, "Rest in peace and empower." Like a verbal newspaper for the black people. Things we don't hear in the media and news. That's how hip hop. That's one of the ways hip hop came to be. So we can express ourselves. Sometimes a fun way, sad way, happy way, aggressive way. Like I said, hip hop and music in general is like emotion. So salute to X-Clan, which have been on lists in the past, and very, very extraordinary. And they're definitely, again, tapped in to their higher selves. So, all right, let's move over to Common. I think Common is extraordinary. I've always liked Common. Again, I don't know him personally. I didn't look up anything about him, but I like the brother. He makes some good music. And The Light, that was one of my favorite songs, and he made a few of them. He make a lot of conscious songs, so be thankful for brothers and sisters who do tap into their higher selves in songs, because it's needed, because those are the songs that we will remember the most. All right, salute to Common, and he did a collaboration with Mary J. Blige, which was a beautiful song. Salute to Mary J. Blige. She's been on past lists. She's I guess she would be some hip hop, but R&B more or less. And again, as I said in the past, she's like a female Al Green. I used to listen to Mary J. back in the 90s when, at the same time she was going through a struggle, I was too. So Mary J., you got me through some tough times. I've spoke on that before. All right. So salute to Common, who's extraordinary. And he has a lot, again, he's tapped into his higher self on a lot of his songs. So be thankful for brothers and sisters like that. Salute. And I'm talking about any brother and sister, family, but I'm just speaking on hip hop at the moment. All right. Let's move over to the Roots, not Nappy Roots, but the group called the Roots, which is another higher self group, and they're definitely extraordinary. They've been on past lists. I've done research on them, so many people have heard of the Roots. Remember, there's two different groups. You got Nappy Roots, and then you got the Roots, and they're both extraordinary. Nappy Roots have been on past lists. But the Roots, another extraordinary group. They're tapped into their higher selves. If you listen to some of their lyrics, very tapped in to their higher self, and definitely extraordinary. So salute to the Roots. That that rhyme. And for contributing, aggressive, conscious rap. Great artists in that group. And again, many of us know who the Roots are, and we all know they're very extraordinary. All right, let's move over to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace and in power. He's been on past lists too, but I thought that brother was very extraordinary. And I will reiterate, I really didn't know who this brother was until he transitioned, and I hate that. It's a lot of us that can relate to this. Some of us didn't even know who Nipsey Hussle was until the controversy arose, and when he transitioned. It's sad, and I hate that, man. So he gave a lot of impact to the black culture. He was a true soldier. He was a general. Real talk. Rest in peace and empire, Nipsey Hussle. Next one on the list, DMX. Rest in peace and empire. And we know DMX was very dynamic and very extraordinary. Didn't play no games, and he was tapped in to his higher self. DMX was A1, was A1 since day one. Real talk. Now, he went through his challenges and his ups and downs, but he maintained himself, and he will be forever missed. Real talk. Another one that's, man, so needed, what wasn't ready to leave, in my opinion. It wasn't his time. Rest in peace and empire, DMX. It will be on many lists. All right, and next one is Heavy D, another rest in peace and empire, who was another extraordinary brother. And the boys that was in his group, they were extraordinary. I did a little breakdown and research on them, in the past. I did a whole tribute to Heavy D too. And if you go again, as I mentioned in the past, if you go back and listen to a lot of Heavy D songs, especially his later ones, like a little bit before he transitioned, the Heavy D was tapped in. And what I like about Heavy D, he didn't do a lot of cussing. And I spoke on this. Now, I cuss in some of my music, but I do have a high respect for artists who can spit lyrics and not cuss. That's beautiful. Like Rakim. It's a lot of, I just can't remember all. I know Rakim was one of them. Houdini, which is another extraordinary group. They on past hip-hop list. Heavy D. And he went deep on a lot of his songs. He was in touch with his higher self. He really was. And he spoke out against the industry and being free and the evil sways and ways. Heavy D was awakened, and I hate to say it, as many artists as we know, brother or sister, is, that conspiracy theory thing, and I swear it's one artist after another. And Heavy D was one of those artists. And Heavy D also was one of those artists that Jaguar Wright, who's another extraordinary sister, who spoke on Heavy D, so rest in peace and in power, Heavy D, who was definitely extraordinary. But that was some of the artists. That was all the brothers. And again, rest in peace, DMX, Heavy D, and Nipsey Hussle, for the impact they gave hip hop and the world. So that was the brothers on the list. And I got some sisters, but I'm gonna read them when I come back from the break. But right now, let's get back to Field Mob, and let's do a little breakdown, and let's connect with Brother Smoke and Brother Sean J. Let's go. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Thank those that's been riding along, and those who commented on the father and son discussion my son and I did. Divine connection to dreams. You really had fun. That was so much fun speaking on that. And salute to his girl Trish, who supports the channel. She commented on there, and we just kind of communicated with each other in the comments. And salute to all those who comment, and have been riding along. We appreciate you, and we thank you. Again, you get anything positive out of this channel from me, my son Lord Lamont, music we do, anything, pass that positive energy on to someone else. We got to be in the business of building generals. But let's get back to hip hop heavy hitters, part 14. Be extraordinary, brothers and sisters. And I'm talking righteously again, like I said a few minutes ago. because being extraordinary can lead to our higher self, but we have to be right in that gut. That root chakra have to be stable. All right. Now let's speak on Brother Smoke and Brother Sean J. Let's break it down. Darian and Sean grew up on the outskirts of Albany, 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 a few blocks from each other, in the relatively poor neighborhood locally known as the Field, because of its semi-rural. That word is funny. RURAL, semi-rural location as compared to the city's public housing. We all black people, we all know about that. As teenagers attending Monroe Comprehensive High School, that's comprehensive, As teenagers attending Monroe Comprehensive High School, Darian observed Sean and a group of friends holding rap freestyle battles in the school courtyard, with Sean being the reigning champion. Oh, that's dope. Darian decided to challenge Sean on the idea that he was just as good, and won. For 4 weeks afterward, the informal competition continued daily, with the victor attending between himself and Sean, and attracting the attention of many other students who came to spectate. Eventually, Sean offered to form a rap group with Darian, and Field Mob was born. That's dope. So they used to battle against each other. That's dope. See, this is why I like connecting. That's dope. All right. And that's how they formed Field Mob. Field Mob was born. Salute. According to Smoke and Sean J, the origins of the duo's name were twofold. All right. No, twofold. My bad. Twofold. Field is a reference not only to the neighborhood where they grew up, but also a slang term for the southern United States. Mob, sign fees. The strength the duo represents. Mob, sign fees. It's a funny word. Forgive me, y'all. It's SIGNIFIS. Sign fees. So forgive me if I'm reading that wrong. Okay, the strength the duo represents. We're two people, but together represents. We're two people, but together we make an army. We're making a strong statement with two people. We're a two-man army. That's dope. I love how they connected and how they came together. That's dope. Forgive me for fumbling those words. I do that sometimes. Sign fees. Mob sign fees. That's a weird word. Wow. So that's dope, man. Because as my son, Lord Lamont, and I talk about, we hate beefing. So that's cool. And I like how, like I say, I respect, a classical competition or a fun competition, but not when it gets personal and people getting hurt and, it's ridiculous. And you start talking about each other's family and mom. I'm just not into that shit, but that's just me. But this was a good, clean competition, a rap battle. You know what I mean? I don't like those toxic rap battles. I just don't do rap battles. It breeds negative energy to me. All right. Let's go through some of the songs Field Mob made. They made a lot of them. And let's go. So What? That's the one they collab with Sierra on, which is on my banner if I'm not mistaken. Okay, So What? Sick of Being Lonely. That's a good. Sick of being lonely. That's a dope ass song too. I don't know if Sierra in that song or not. I'm not mistaken, but that's a good song. Sick of Being Lonely. Georgia, which is what they had a discrepancy with Luda, but we ain't gonna get too deep into that because I don't know those brothers personally. But that's unfortunate if that's true. All right. Project Dreams. We on the 4th song. Okay. Cut Loose. My Main, Ronnie or Ronnie. Okay. Where are you going? All right. Dead in Your Chevy. Eat 'em Up. Beat 'em Up. All right. These are all songs from Field Mob. Hey Shawty. Okay. Baby Bend Over. We probably know what that song means. Blacker Than Berry. Ooh, I kind of like that. Don't Want No Problems. Hit It For Free. Okay. Some of these might, different emotions, remember. Nothing to Lose. My Wheels. It's Hell. Smiling. Aha. All right. That was all the songs by Field Mob. And I'm going to read this little presentation about Sierra collaborating. All right. Sierra collaborated with the group Field Mob on the song So What? This track, released in 2006, was a significant hit for both artists, peaking at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Sierra is featured on the chorus and bridge of the song. Yep, because that's that when she says, so what? I like that. That's dope. Yep. All right, so that was some breakdown on Field Mob. And as I like to do when I do my hip hop heavy hitters, this is part 14, I do a little breakdown just to connect with the artist. And again, salute to Brother Smoke and Sean J, which brought great music to hip hop. I love their dynamic and their lyricism and how they have melody in their music. Again, like old boy says, say that I'm this and say that I'm that. He was killing them verses. And Sean J was just so smooth, laid back. I love it. So I haven't looked up anything current on them. I'm sure they're still doing something musically, because when one truly loves their craft, remember, we talking about any craft, but for the moment, speaking on hip hop, it never leaves. Like, again, I'm 56. I'm still doing music. I'm still hitting bars. And again, we can always transcend our craft, our gift as brothers, sisters, those who are artists. Even if we can't rap anymore, we can still write. We can still pass that gift on to our youth. Like I'm going to do my children, my divine children, and my biological children. And I am going to reach out to my daughters, Andrea and Naya. And I have another son, Elijah. And again, they're spread out different parts of cities and states. And I haven't talked to them in a while, and it's been bothering me. Actually, I was thinking about it. I was meditating on it yesterday. So I got to reach out to them. I haven't talked to them in a while. No excuses, just haven't. And I got to do that. Remember, like I've said, maybe a couple of podcasts ago, Great Divine will antagonize us when it has a purpose for us, when it has something for us, in us. If it keep bothering us, if it's righteously bothering us, act on it. So I'm going to reach out to him. And, this things happen in life, but we can't live. We got to live on solutions and not excuses. You know what I mean? Real talk. And that's kind of for me. All right. So we keep forging forward. As my son, Lord Lamont, says, salute. And deal with any issue in our life. If we have any issue, any challenge, I would say challenge, deal with it, whether it's within ourselves, a life, something that's we're pondering, and whatever it is, that's to better ourselves and put out that positive energy out to the world, because it will come back. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's not about being perfect. It's having perfect intentions, keeping a family spirit and appreciating great artists like I got on my banner here. Again, salute to Field Mob. I love Field Mob and their style, and you in my playlist, my brothers, as well as Sierra and the other brother on my thumbnail. Salute to him. I got to find out what his name is. I like his hooks and his collaborations he does with different artists. Wonderful. Yep, he might even be producers, because a lot of times those we see doing hooks or that don't really sing, that be behind the scenes, those be the ones that be the beat makers and producing, have great gifts also. Because I found that out with was it Esther Dean, if I said her name right, and that song with what's that song? You don't love me, I think I love her. What's old boy name that make that song? I can't believe I can't remember his song, his name. God dang it, y'all know who I'm talking about. He collaborated with a sister named Esther Dean, which is very talented, and she got multiple talents. I checked her out. Man, she been in movies. She can sing songs, do beats, and produce. Man, Esther, that sister can do everything. What is his name? I don't know why I can't. Y'all know the song I'm talking about. I think I love her. You love me. You love me. I know I love her. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And I liked his verse in that song. That brother can be extraordinary. the brother that had the tattoo of the ice cream cone on his face. I don't know why I can't remember his name. It'll come to me though. It'll come to me. But anyone listening, you know the song I'm talking about. It's gonna bother me until I remember. You know how we get. We forget something and it'll bother us until we remember. But y'all know what song I'm talking about. But we're gonna go to this hip hop break, and if I remember, I'll reiterate it when I come back from this hip hop break. Yep, and Gucci Mane, I told you to come to me. Gucci Mane, y'all know that song. I think I love her, which is a very extraordinary song. And that beat, oh my God, that beat, oh, dum 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 dum. Who? And I think she produced that beat, if I'm not mistaken, Esther Dean. But don't quote me. That beat was hard. Dum 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 dum. That beat is dope. Very extraordinary. Talk about extraordinary. Yeah, but that was just a side note. But yeah, again, salute to Field Mob, Brother Smoke, Sean J, and anyone that loves hip hop the way I do. And when we come back, we got some female artists that I'm gonna speak on. One I speak on a lot, and one I have spoke on before. When we come back, that I think are very extraordinary. So let's get to this hip hop break, as well as my cuz, L'Oreal Lyrical. May she rest in peace and in power. Okay, hold on, this gotta stop. Hold on. All right, this still going. Okay, we back at all right. Let me see. Excuse me. I was gonna say getting ready to be back. I ain't played the music. All right, hold on, my generals. We gonna get to this song. Okay, the first one is going to be Dynamic, and the second one is Be a Lady, which is my cuz, L'Oreal Lyrical. Rest in peace and in power. She'll be the second song. All right, the first song is Be Dynamic, brothers and sisters. And thank you for coming into another hip hop heavy hitters. And I got some unique sisters that I want to speak on that I think those who are listening will think are very extraordinary. Be back after this. Be dynamic in whatever area we are in our life. Be dynamic.
Brothers and sisters, let's be dynamic. So we transcend. Got to be dynamic so we can win. Let's be dynamic. We pushing through and we do what we do. We lose good things in this life, what we choose. And we see clear, never be confused. You teach me, I teach you. Want us to be happy, never have no blues. Uplift your soul, my sisters and my bro. I want us high and never ever low. Got to be dynamic. Woo. So we transcend. It got to be dynamic. So we can win. It gotta be dynamic. Woo! I transcend and give my family and all good friends who make it to the end. And fuck your religion and give this sin. And spiritual things, that's within. We never ever stop, never finish till we go again and again. Don't care about the top, in this life we don't stop. And good righteous things is what we keep high and keep looking on. And baby show stay strong, protect the home, and stay in my zone. My great big fine, never leave us alone.
No.
Stay dynamic, so we transcend.
Let go.
Stay dynamic, so we can win. Gotta be dynamic, so we transcend. Brothers and sisters, stay dynamic, so we can win. Gotta be dynamic. Yeah, gotta be unpredictable in this life, because this life can be unpredictable. So be the guides and the goddesses that we are, and stop playing. Let's transcend, so our generation can win. Gotta be dynamic, so we transcend.
Real talk. Be dynamic, brothers and sisters. Man, in every area, of our lives, physically, mentally, as we all say, spiritually. And I know we hear this a lot, but hey, it's there's no other way. As my son and I talked about, Lord Lamont, there's no getting away from knowing oneself. I don't care, and I'll say this. I say it to him blue in the face. Life is going to teach us whether we want to be taught or not. So, and again, it's not about being a deep spiritual person or being a perfect person. It's just being a decent person, have integrity. It brings good things. It brings good light. Why not? What do we have to lose doing what we're supposed to do in this life? And other things will follow. Righteous things will follow. But this next song is again, salute to Field Mob, because this is a tribute to those brothers. I really appreciate them. What they brought to hip hop. We gotta appreciate the good artists out there. I'm talking about conscious, well, all different kinds, but those with an authentic heart and meant well in their music. Those are the ones we gotta salute and appreciate. All right, so let's get to this song. Like my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical. Rest in peace and empowered. And she was she was phenomenal. So, as well as these other sisters that I'm going to read coming up. So that's why I wanted to play a song from my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical, because whenever I'm speaking on sisters, I play songs that kind of relate to the sisters I'm speaking on. All right, so be back, my journals, and we'll continue the hip hop heavy hitters. Part 14, be extraordinary. All day, every day, righteously. Be right back. Be a lady, L'Oreal Lyrical.
Yeah. Confined by my mind, trust issues make me a beast. Communications are minimal. I rarely speak in cell phones. I peek insecure a little bit. Try hard to dismiss little shit from exes. Yet I'm human, and here I am, your lady. Dark brown, natural crown, highly educated, and serving God and making ways for a family. Maybe not today, but one day give you a baby. On my diddy bop, so I'm opinionated. If you need to hold something, I'm calculating. Why you take my cash, running to the strip club? A man of rather lust than the work and build trust. And got the nerve to tell me that I don't understand, when the truth is my generation's full of weak men. Staying at home while the kids is at daycare. Only giving up dick to keep his place there. I'm late, tell me can you provide? Step up to the plate, all in, just thrive. Hey, I'm late, can you even protect me? Girl, I'm having fun, but can you keep a family? I'm late, tell me can you provide? Step up to the plate, all in, just thrive. Hey, I'm late, can you even protect me? Girl, I'm having fun, but can you keep a family? Cry on the second verse, I know it hurts. I done did it all to show this man my worth. I could give him the word and he be like a spaceman. Where my men with ambition and self-sufficient. Is you listening? I'm wishing you may get it together. Signed your lady forever. No, I'm not bitter. Simply painting you this lyrical picture. Can you see it? Fatherless children. Opposition is weak. You can't stand on your own 2 feet. Presenting the problem, that man becoming the father. Raising the son with no more, repeating the pattern. Time to get it together, changing your family for better. I'm seeking pleasure from these women who don't know no better. They tell me that I don't understand, when the truth is my generation's full of weak men. Staying at home while the kids is at daycare. Only giving up dick to keep his place there. I'm late, tell me can you provide? Step up to the plate, all in, just thrive. Hey, I'm late, can you even protect me? Girl, I'm having fun, but can you keep a family? I'm late, tell me can you provide? Step up to the plate, all in, just thrive. Hey, I'm late, can you even protect me? Girl, I'm having fun, but can you keep a family?
All right, that was cuz. And you see she got aggressive. She said it like, that's why I'm telling you, when it's authentic, it comes from it has to be real. There's no other way around it. Again, like I said a few minutes ago, there's no getting around knowing oneself, even if it's aggressive, as long as it's come from a righteous, authentic place. Can't go wrong with authenticity. It was a time I couldn't even say that. Real talk. It's amazing the things we learn along the way. Real talk. If we're willing to learn, by the righteous things of life. Because again, life will teach us whether we want to be taught or not. And it's, to me, in my opinion, and many of our philosophers, as well as my son, Lord Lamont, we have to seek out knowledge. We seek out that great divine will seek us out, and just do things because we can, not because we're obligated or have to or any of those things, Just being an upright human being brings so many blessings and blessings in life, Just keep on living. Like my grandma used to say, rest in peace and in power, as well as my granddad, who were farmers, And I remember my son and I were speaking on, I was telling him how he come from a strong family, and it all began with my grandparents because they were farmers, So they know what it was. They know what it was like to see a seed grow from the ground and blossom into something wonderful. And I'm meaning that symbolically, So that's why they were able to carry a stable family, because they were stable together. And I'm sure they had their challenges, but my grandparents, my grandma and granddad, they did everything they set out to do in this life. I don't think they missed out on nothing. They seen most of their grandkids grow. They seen most of their kids. They raised them. They worked up into all the things that is required of a family. They done, and we got to be thankful if we have families like that, Call down protection on those families that may have challenges or struggles, Call down protection on them. That's what I do when I see families or someone going through a struggle. I don't just say, oh man, no. I say, great divine, help them come into their lives, help them to pinpoint their challenges so they can fix themselves if they can be fixed, Never get away from knowing oneself. As the brothers in field mob, I'm sure they came into, their own, just like when they were competing against each other and they saw something in one another. That's wonderful. And then instead of they ended up collabing and became a duel. That's the most dopest story in the world to me. And that's something I didn't know about them brothers. See, that's why I say it's good to kind of know a little bit. If you love hip hop, I think connecting to artists just make it that much more rewarding. And it's things we just don't know sometimes about some artists. So some of them can be very unique. Like these sisters I'm getting ready to read. And the first one is Keisha Cole. And I spoke on her before. And I think she's very extraordinary, beautiful. It's just something about Keisha Cole that's so different than other artists. And she's been on a few lists, but she definitely had to go on the extraordinary. I call this the extraordinary list, in my opinion, So salute to Keisha Cole. I love Keisha Cole. Kelly Rowland. I spoke on her before. I think she's extraordinary, very unique. And I will place one's opinion. I like her better than Beyonce. I'm not a Beyonce fan. I don't care for Beyonce. I think I'm not saying she's not talented. She can't sing or anything, but I think she's kind of put on the pedestal a little too much. You have a lot of sisters out there that can, I know sisters right here in the Milltown sing their ass off, sing better than Beyonce, to be honest. So I just don't get into the old glamour and all that. No, I look straight to the heart of the real artist, in my opinion. I think Kelly Rowland is one of those artists. So that's just my opinion. I'm not a fan of Beyonce. All right, that's my opinion, and I'm keeping it raw, keeping it real. All right, now let's get to some bonus sisters I wanted to speak on from Arrested Development. And we all know Arrested Development is a very extraordinary, conscious, higher self, man, deepest group ever. I love Arrested Development and everybody in it, and the brothers too. Salute. And that song they made called All I See Is Melanin. Dope ass song. And all right, let's get into it. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. I want to speak on some sisters from the group Arrested Development. Let's go. The female artists associated with the hip hop group Arrested Development are, now I might mispronounce some of these names. They're very unique. Nadira Shakur. Okay, I'm gonna spell it out. Nadirah. Nadira Shakur and Tasha LaRae. Nadira Shakur was the lead vocalist during the group's initial success in the 1990s. Tasha LaRae joined later, becoming the lead female or sister vocalist in 2008 and continuing with the group for several years. There's also Farida. I spoke her name before. There's also Farida Aline, who has been with the group since 2004. Salute. Contributing vocals, dancing, and choreography. Dope. According to see. Additionally, Mancho Eshi. Okay. Remember I said some of these names are unique. Montsho Eshe. Mancho Eshi or Esh was an original member, contributing dancing, choreography, and vocals according to the Arrested Development. That's dope. That's dope. I just wanted to read that, and I wanted to have some sisters on there. I try to make sure I got sisters and brothers in there, and everybody I just read on that list, very extraordinary. So, and be extraordinary, my brothers and sisters, and again, do whatever we can to tap in to our higher selves, so we can enjoy ourselves into our golden years and enjoy some good music, good vibrations, things to go into our psyche. As I said, treat our psyche like traffic. Watch what goes in, what goes out. That goes with music, things of the world, toxic things, person, place, thing. Remember, we got to have a wider scope, with ourselves, music, of course, our children, family. I'll try to include everything in there, above and beyond. That's the kind of sight we got to have, straight through that third eye chakra. It's wonderful. And I got another chakra video to come up. I've done 6. I got one more to go. It's the last but not least. But I did all because, again, as I said before, and this could tie into music too, any kind of music, but we're speaking on hip hop, studying our chakras. That can help us with our music also. Those who are artists, whether you sing, rap, play an instrument, whether you do beats, studying our heart chakras, that can help also, because that's where a lot of the emotion comes in, the passion, the creativity. It's all hitting in our body. Just a matter of going within, as we all say, deep within, like Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep too. I forgot we got a group called Mobb Deep too. But we talking about Field Mob. Salute. And man, you just be amazed when we study the human body, ourselves mostly. Man, the gifts and skills we can come up with, and whatever gift or skill or ability that is, like my son Lord Lamont and I were talking about, but having a skill for music is a wonderful expression, brothers and sisters. Like Bob Marley said, rest in peace and in power. A verbal newspaper, expressing what one feels deep within and having fun. Like these brothers on my banner, it looked like they had a ball in that video, and I love the storytelling. Wonderful. So again, salute to Brother Smoke and Sean J. And it's just unfortunate if they did have some kind of disagreement with Ludacris, because again, I think they're all great artists, but I don't pick sides. I don't know those brothers personally, but I don't think they, from what I observed, they're not brothers of beef. They don't cause friction. I've never heard their names dragged through the mud or anything that I know of. So I think they're pretty good brothers as far as I can see. So that's why I'm giving them this tribute, and salute to all the artists I read on this list, whether brother or sister. And I think they all are extraordinary, but especially these brothers on my banner, So thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion / Hip Hop Heavy Hitters Part 14. And there'll be more hip hop heavy hitters to come, because I love hip hop. You all in music in general. I have other R&B and maybe jazz and some African. I have other genres of music I'll speak on, but you'll always hear me speak on hip hop. That's my first love. I love hip hop. And again, when one can't say lyrics anymore, I'll always write. And I can pass it on to my son, my divine children, my biological children, and I will reach out, as I said, to my daughter, Andrea, and Naya, and Elijah. May that great divine be in their life, wherever they are right now, and protect them. And let them know that daddy thinks about them every day, as well as all my kids, and family. As I told my son and I again, what we discussed, sometimes people will think you don't care, but in my meditation, I'm thinking about everyone, because when I speak on that realm, I'm very serious about that. We can't have doubt in there. That's what that great divine wants. Mama Nature doesn't want us to have doubt. Just keep flowing, and be great and be as righteous as we can in our soul, and righteous will follow. Like these brothers on my banner. That's probably why you never really heard no real bad controversy about them. And you can just tell they're just some, I don't know. That's a good sign when they were competing against each other. When I read in that summary, when they were in school and they ended up, linking up and becoming a group and build on it. And look what they became. So that's a good example. Field Mob is a good example of building with each other, and making a rap battle fun, and not getting salty and nobody getting hurt and bitter and all that. It's just wonderful. So in my opinion, Field Mob is a good example of two brothers, being loyal to each other, even through some type of agreement, but not hurting each other in the process. So salute to Brother Smoke and Sean J. Again, salute to Field Mob and all those great artists out there. Those who chime in and listen, I salute to you too. And all the great content creators, those who are standing up righteous, brother, sister, family in the world and online. Be extraordinary, brothers and sisters. Again, this has been another hip-hop heavy hitters, part 14. Be extraordinary, my brothers and sisters, family, generals, and tap into a higher self. Salute.